pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start with something. Start with ratifying the agenda. Is there any additions, deletions?
Yes, I have, looks like 2 invoices for the road department to pay to Ducks Unlimited. And a total of, are they both the same amount, Karen? 6,800 apiece? Okay.
Okay, we'll add that. Karen would like to add the home on the range discussion or report, so we'll add that. Anything else? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
By Commissioner Franchuk,
Second.
by Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. Okay. You have in front of you minutes from the May 5th meeting for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 5th, 2026 minutes.
By Commissioner Franchuk,
I'll second.
by Commissioner White. Any discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. We also have minutes from the May 19th special meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 19th, 2026 minutes.
Motion by Commissioner Franchuk,
I'll second.
by Commissioner Marsh. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Accounts payable, you have in front of you bills. I have one question for Amanda. So is the state fleet vehicle we have for Vision Zero, is that full-time, or is she using her personal vehicle some of the time?
I think well, I know she's renting vehicles occasionally, and I guess, I don't know if she's using she must be using her personal here and there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So so every time she needs one, she has to call in and get access to a state fleet vehicle?
Well, or rent one, yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Also in the accounts payable, we want to remove the TU's construction bill rate.
Yep, good catch.
So do we provide a vehicle for that?
State Vision? The-
Vision Zero?
We're reimbursed, Amanda knows more of the details, but the options were like 3. We pay her mileage, we rent a vehicle, or we get a state fleet vehicle. Or
Oh, okay. But we don't have we didn't, the county did not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Be nice if she'd like quarterly give us some updates on what she does. I mean,
think
we haven't
that's
seen her
the-
for months.
Yeah, that's the intent, and we'll probably ask to have her come.
Yeah, I know she's been covering over in Bismarck, because that individual is out on maternity leave or something, so she's been traveling a lot, but yeah, we'll get her on the calendar here.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable with excluding the TU's construction for $220,000.
Motion by Commissioner Franchuk,
Second.
by Commissioner White. Any other discussion? Questions? Roll call vote. Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. Thank you. Any action items for the Park Board Commission need to be brought forth?
Other than, once the insurance is updated,
Okay,
to have you sign it.
execute it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and make that motion then.
Make the motion to execute the agreement with the Motorsports Art Group once they provided updated insurance requirements, and the lease agreement is updated as well, to have Neil sign off on it.
Okay, motion by Commissioner White,
I'll second that.
by Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion?
I think, I got one other one too.
Okay.
Outside of that, we need another one signed as
Okay.
well.
So, all in favor of that signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, Commissioner White.
I'd make a motion also to have Commissioner Messer sign the consolidated, for the cameras today. To get that
Contract.
back- Get that back to consolidated.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that as well.
Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried.
I have a
Thank you.
question at Park Board. Maybe I should have brought this up at Park Board, but we were discussing bringing in other people to the Park Board and taking commission off of that. Was that, should have been under Park Board discussion, or should have, that's here, or where do we discuss that?
Yeah, I think it's an overall discussion. I think it's a commission action item, right?
What's that?
If we reconstruct the park board.
Yeah, so I actually did some research back on this, back in the early 80s.
You did in the eighties?
Yeah. I went through the minutes.
Oh, I thought it was
And the county commission back then had structured the park board where it would be all 5 commissioners had to sit on it plus 2 other individuals. So I had written a resolution that you can be brought forward whenever you want, that would essentially give you guys a lot more leniency, that just says essentially the statutory the statute says you have to have at least 2 commissioners, I believe, on it, and then you can have up to 5 citizens. So that's ready to go. You guys can take it up whenever you
Does that
want.
goes through here, or goes?
Goes
to-
through the
To
county
here, then
commission.
to the Park Board?
The county commission is the one who has the statutory power to decide how the park board is made up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I guess I'd like to follow up on that a little bit, and
Okay. Let's bring that up next meeting.
That's fine. I think I think you and Karen should both have the resolution. I think I
Okay.
emailed it, but I'll email it again. Just remind me.
Okay, thanks. Sheriff report.
Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. You should have the Stark County Sheriff's Office report for the month of May 2026 in front of you. If you have any questions on that, I would certainly take those now. If you do not, I will just proceed to the end there. First point, I guess I wanted to bring up, we had a deputy that was assaulted last month around about 10 o'clock in the evening at the Taylor exit. Deputy Dalton King was called to do a welfare check on a vehicle that was taking up a good portion of the roadway. He arrived, identified a 22-year-old male, attempted to gain some information and compliance from that male. A fight ensued. Deputy King, was both punched and kicked numerous times. The male fled west into the field, which was directly south of the interstate. We did have several members of the Dickinson Police Department respond. I also responded myself. We eventually took the male into custody. I had the unfortunate circumstance of getting my hands on him first. Then he was transported to the Southwest County Correction Center, I just wanted to say thank you very much to the Dickinson Police Department for their assistance with that. It's always nice when we work well together like that. It went very smoothly, very quickly. Was a good deal. I also wanted to say thank you to the residents of the area, although I will I know what you all were doing. I will caution you guys when you do that, when you show up and try to take matters into your own hands, but certainly we appreciate the help and thank you for trying to have our backs in that situation. So, had numerous citizens circling the area wanting to help us at that time, so. We had a jury trial last week. That went extremely well. Kudos to Amanda and her staff for getting a successful outcome there. There's a lot of moving pieces to those trials, a lot of guys coming and going from the pen and whatever, and whatnot, on some of those trials. So a lot, like I said, a lot of things go into that, and everything went very well, so that was nice. Again, working together within our walls here is sometimes a challenge, but went very well. We did our promotional implementations as of yesterday, so we have our new patrol lieutenant, John Hiltonen. Of course, Eldon has been in that chief deputy role for about a month. Jesse has slid over to Eldon's former position in the administrative lieutenant role, and we are moving right along with that. We have a new truck reg hire, Deputy Evan Quinto was with the police department for 12 years. He will be doing our truck reg. Moving forward, he starts next Monday. He'll go through a brief FTO process for about 4 to 5 weeks, both learning the ins and outs of the county and the truck reg position before he gets going. And we have Deputy Caden Dossinger he's actually started the academy this week. He will go to Bismarck next week. I believe he's doing all the online stuff this week. So, any questions?
Any questions for the sheriff?
What's the summer academy you got on your, says that for the,
Yeah, that's what I just said.
talking about that, okay.
Yeah.
The truck reg, report, we didn't get that. Says truck reg report to be submitted.
Did I not forward that to you guys yesterday?
I
I must
didn't
have
get it.
forgot to hit the forward. John did send it to me. I'll get that out to you guys.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Commissioner White, you want to do the road? Well, let's do the cameras, Lieutenant Huff.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I sit over there and I do what the sheriff just did, or I come up here and I'm looking for money, so I'm up here. The pictures, do you have a slide with the pictures I'd sent? There were two, I haven't printed out two. Can you guys see those, or do you want the printed handout I made?
We got it in our packet.
We got it in our
We got
packet.
our
We have it in our
packet. We got
packet.
Oh, they did hit the packet? Thank you, Karen.
From
I got them in really late. I'm surprised
which one? That must be,
The one I sent out yesterday.
she got them stuck in there.
Packet.
This is
Packet.
still kind of evolving. Just as before we did the Pledge of Allegiance, I got another 10-year quote from the company Motorola. So that's not on the sheets. I just got it right before the meeting started. Where we're at, October 31st of this year, our camera contract with the utility will expire. We need to sign with them again or find another company. The problems we have with utility, it hasn't been all bad, but there are some problems. The biggest one is a short battery life on the body cameras and the holster sensors. In using them, they'll last 6-7 hours, and then they need to be recharged. That hasn't reared its ugly head at a really unfortunate time for us yet, but we are kind of playing a real terrible game there, risking those cameras dying when we don't want them to die. We want them to continue recording. Just this model of camera inside the vest didn't occur to us when we went with this company 5 years ago, but the audio recording is terrible because it's inside my vest. It makes sense now when we think about it, but it doesn't pick up voices real well. We want something that mounts on the outside of the vest. All three of these companies, that's what the quotes reflect, is a camera that sticks on the outside so that it captures that audio. With utility, we've had some interview room recording problems, which two, to a big extent, haven't really bit us on the behind yet, but we're playing a dangerous game there, having interview room cameras that don't work, because the interview room is where a lot of important to cases happen. Multiple portals in the state's attorney's office. State's Attorney Engelstad could probably testify to that, but her staff has to use two separate systems primarily. She gets her cases from Dickinson PD, where they're from Axon, they use Axon, and they're in a portal where they see those videos. And then us with utility, it's a whole separate portal. So if she's watching our videos, it's one side of the internet. Watching DPD, it's a whole nother website. Work better for workflow efficiency in her office if they were together. My current problem with utility, if you see right behind all their dollar amounts, there's EST, estimated. That's my estimate. I haven't heard back from them since March. I don't have an updated quote. Responses are slow. For a while there, I was talking to a different employee every time I called, and we're their only customer in North Dakota that I'm aware of. With their rate that they quoted, I don't really consider them a viable option at this point, but I did want to present what I'd gotten from them. Everything is substantially more expensive than it was in 2021. Utility gave us a very gracious deal. They're trying to get their foot in the door, get somebody in North Dakota using their camera saying how good it was, and then other law enforcement officers would follow suit, which they didn't, but it was a really good rate that we got then. So everything is substantially higher now. As we look at that, the benefits to Motorola as a company, these are somewhat apples to apples quotes. I've got it on the sheet with all the colors there. We're quoted 28 vehicle systems, 29 body cameras, and 4 interview room cameras. Those numbers could go down a little bit. I'm not certain we're going to need 29. We might need 28 body cameras. 27 or 28 vehicles, it depends if we keep 3 spares or if we keep 2 spares. But before we'd actually sign a contract, we'd need those numbers set in stone. The company Motorola, similar usability and technology to Axon there. The big one with Motorola and Axon is translation. So the camera's hanging on the front of your vest. With a push of one button, you can speak to somebody that speaks no English. They will say what they say, it'll repeat it in English. You say what you say, it'll repeat it in their language. It's amazing, something that has only been achieved with Google Translate or an actual translator on the phone, which takes time. It takes your hands away from you because you're holding a phone. Motorola in the contract, and I didn't include the contracts. If anyone wants to look at the proposed contracts, I certainly could get them to you. But I didn't want to take too much time up here and be sliding through 5 different 10-page long contracts. Motorola is willing to give us a drone. Kind of neat. Something we could get separately as well. And Motorola supposedly, and I say supposedly because I hadn't talked to Motorola until last week Thursday. I was going to go ahead with Utilities quote and Axon's quote. Motorola just happened to come by the office Thursday, and we told them where we were at and what we were doing, and they threw a 5-year quote together by Friday and just got me a 10-year one this morning. But Motorola supposedly can display their videos on evidence.com just like Axon does, which would alleviate some of the problems the state's attorney's office has in managing 2 portals. I don't know how well it does that. It's a salesman telling me, and I don't 100% trust salesmen all the time, but maybe it works. Benefits to Axon. We get new tasers. The X2s that we're currently carrying here are at the end of their life. They still show on Axon's website. We tried to order one, and they won't let us. Our tasers need to be upgraded soon before they stop selling the cartridges for them. This contract with Axon includes new tasers. It includes a VR training headset, which I have in my office if anybody comes to care to look at it at the LEC. Trains you how to use a taser, trains you on use of force. Don't want to get up here like trains you in dealing with subjects with autism, and it's really fantastic. I wish I had more time to sit down and look at it, but that's part of that quote as well, is that VR training, 2 headsets and the new tasers. Axon includes a translation too. The big thing with the Axon is the battery life. So Axon as a company, I contacted them. I said, hey, our camera contract's going to be over pretty soon. What do you got? And they said, well, we'll let you see. Do you want to start a trial, a free trial? We'll send you stuff to try. I said, absolutely. Within 2 days, I had 7 or 8 boxes, tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment show up at the office. We've got 3 of their body cameras. We've got the VR headset. We've got a new taser. I've been trialing it all, and through the trial, my 3 deputies wearing the Axon cameras will finish their 12-hour shift with 40% battery life left. It's amazing. And with the Motorola cameras, the salesman himself had said, battery will last 6, 7, 8 hours, and you're swapping the battery. It's got a changeable battery, but battery doesn't last the full 12-hour shift, which is...
So is battery for utility and Motorola about the same then?
Utility battery in this, I've got the extended pack on, which makes it take more space in my vest and gets a lot hotter. But even with the extended battery, the utility camera here is lasting about 8 hours. The utility camera we would look at, the external one, kind of the same battery, about 8 or 9 hours, but it charges pretty rapidly. But you're still having to take it off, charge it, or swap a battery. With the Axon camera, my best guess is that thing would probably last 16 to 20 hours if they're finishing a 12-hour shift at 40%.
How about Motorola?
Motorola, salesman had said about 8 hours. In the calling around, I've called a lot of other agencies because I'll get to that part, but about 6 to 8 hours is what they expect on those Motorola batteries. The battery is changeable though, so if you give every guy 2 batteries, they could swap it in the middle of their shift, which still leaves you open for that camera dying at the most inopportune time.
How important of a feature is this unlimited storage?
Unlimited storage is huge because storage is expensive. And when we were in our first contract with the utility, that was one of the perks they gave us, was we'll give you unlimited storage. And I can see already they didn't include it in the new contract, and they've turned it off before we've reached the end of our contract, because every time I log in, I've got a little ticker. We'll make it to the end of this contract before we end up paying for any storage, but it's a pretty big deal because any little case, it's hard to predict how much of that storage you're going to use. You get big events, multiple deputies showing up, all of them recording like they should be. You canvass the neighborhood, you go, hey, everybody send me your security videos, your Ring doorbells, your cell phone videos. Some of those cases can get massive. And I'd hate to be one massive case away from getting mailed a huge bill for more storage. The unlimited storage is kind of the way to go. Our contract with Axon, as presented there, mirrors what the Dickinson Police Department did. Real quick before I talk about other departments, because I don't want to take up too much time, but if we chose Motorola, the price looks very attractive. If we chose them, we'd have to add a separate Axon contract for the tasers for sure, and the VR headset for training if we could. That would amount about $150,000 for 5 years. So that kind of puts that Motorola price at the 5-year point up to about $750,000. So customers in North Dakota, I mentioned, I think we're the only ones using utility. We're the only ones that I know of. In North Dakota, Motorola is currently used by Williams County, Williston PD, McKenzie County, Wofford City PD, Morton County, and Mandan PD. Axon is used by Cass County and Fargo PD, Dunn County, and Kildare PD. Dunn County just went to them. It's used by Bismarck PD. It's used by Dickinson PD. And over the last week, we've called not so many of the administrators of these departments. I've talked to a few of those, but more of the users, the guys on the street that are actually using the cameras. And my most valuable information comes from the ones who have been with multiple departments. They were with a department that had either Axon or Motorola, and they went to a department that had the other. Which one do you guys prefer? I mean, hands down, Axon. That battery lasting all 12 hours is huge.
Did you say that Motorola gave you a quote for 10-year?
Just sent it to me right before the Pledge of Allegiance, yes. And it's similar to the one here, just double the price and add a little bit of money. I'm not sure the specifics of that contract because I didn't look through it too much, but with Axon's 10-year, the price jumps a little bit, about, what is that, $13,000 a year. What happens at year 6 is they give us the very latest taser device, whatever that is at the time. They upgrade us for free, but we're paying $13,000 more for the 10-year contract. But the 10-year contract also locks in that price for an additional 5 years. So if technology, that price doubles, well, we're covered for that 5 years because we're still under contract. Aside from that, I'd be open to any questions. The big thing here, and I don't necessarily expect a vote today, I just, in talking to, I think, Commissioner Franchuk, I'd said, hey, as soon as I get dollar amounts, I will let you guys know because it's going to be more than it had been. That 2021 contract, we were kind of fortunate that, hey, let's get these body cameras, and there's COVID money, and gave them the COVID money, and we got body cameras, and now we need them. They're indisposable. I don't know what we'd do without them. But we are kind of up against the ropes as far as time goes. With this contract expiring October 31st, we would need to have something in place probably by the conclusion of the July meeting. Some contracts signed and things underway because whatever company we go with, those cameras and those systems need to be produced. They need to get shipped here. They need to get installed so that we don't hit October 31st with nothing ready to go. And that stuff, I think Axon's timeline they sent me would put us right about early October, middle of October to get everything done if these contracts were signed at the end of the July meeting.
So excuse me, our financial exposure in 2026 under the Axon, if you elect to go that way, or if we elect to go that way, is $1,000, or do we have, when they arrive in October, there's another financial obligation?
Nope, with Axon, they call it an earnest money, a contract signing. They want $1,000, and then your first payment is going to be due January of 2027. The other two companies, in reading their contracts, were not worried about the earnest money, the $1,000. They said, you know, your first payment will be January 2027.
Payments are broke up over the 10 years then, or?
With the Axon 10-year, they are broken up over 10 years. The Motorola 10-year, looking at it, the 10 payments were a little wonky. I think year 6 was like $141,000. It got a little weird towards the end, but still reaching that total amount that they quoted.
And the Exxon body cam sits outside of your vest then?
All three of these companies, the body cam they give us would be mounted on the outside.
So when you transition between two companies and the one ends on October 31st, the next one starts October 31st, as you're installing the new equipment, does that start working right away?
Should, yes, yep.
So, I mean,
That's part of that setup over the next couple months would be the back end, the website where we manage our videos and we send things to the state's attorney's office. That would all have to get set up. There's so many different settings in there.
That there is.
Who's who has what permissions, what different events are we recording, how long do we keep them, 3 years,
But
7
if
years?
one contract ends, the other one starts. I just didn't know if there's a gray area in between where,
The way these contracts work is they start at signing. So if we signed in July, it would carry us, if we signed a 5-year, July 2026, carry us through July of 2031.
So you'd have the opportunity actually for dual at that point, because you'd have the utility in place if you
Yes.
needed it.
Assuming they, and they wouldn't come and get installed immediately,
Yeah.
we'd continue using the utility until that new system was ready to go, installed, and hopefully that would all happen by October 31st.
So maybe minor thing, so new cameras, is that gonna mean new vests too?
We would look about new vests. The big thing is hanging that camera on the outside. We want it in the center of the body, right?
Right.
Well, we've put this camera grommet here blocking me from putting anything in this pocket, and they cut the MOLLE strips off of it. So to get that camera right in the center of my body, we would need new vests. I don't have an exact figure. I rounded it to about $300 per vest times 27, 28 vests.
Say 30.
A little less than, is it $9,000, something like that for a new vest?
Call it 10,000, just for
Yeah,
safety.
that's what I would say.
Can I just say one thing about Axon? I've never worked with Motorola, but I have worked with Axon for quite a while because the Dickinson Police Department has it. And I will say that, at least for us, it's a really nice product to use. It's very user-friendly, and it makes getting discovery, which is the most important part of any case, obviously, to defense attorneys easy. I would say the Axon's also been really great to work with. They were just here within the last month to talk to the Dickinson Police Department about something, I don't remember what it was. They came up to our office, answered any questions, showed us some new things that they had. A lot of times in trials, you have to redact things out of videos for legal purposes, things like that. Axon has all of that available on its through evidence.com. So just from kind of the end user, as far as, you know, the product that you guys are talking about, I can just confirm that I really enjoy that product for how we work with it. So, and again, I've never used Motorola. Couldn't tell you anything about them, but.
I think the general consensus, talking to the users and administrators I've talked to, is Axon is a lot more polished. Like, they've been doing it the longest, they know the most, they reinvest, they research, they develop, like, it is a very polished product.
It does feel like a whole package.
And I should add, when we talk about packages, Motorola does offer packages. Axon is willing to bundle the tasers in this VR. Motorola is willing to bundle radios. That's what Motorola does, radios and video. Most of our radios are anywhere from 2 to 8 years old. They're only warranted for 5 years, but we should get about 25 to 30 years out of each radio. We're not really in need of a contract that'll give us new radios. You know, our radios are still fairly new. So radios aren't a part of that Motorola quote, but they could be.
And radios are not part of the other two quotes.
Not part of either of the other quotes, no.
What's the, so 5-year what's the useful life of a camera? I mean, is the Axon contract gonna do upgrades?
With Axon, and I'd imagine with Motorola, I guess I didn't ask that question in Motorola, there's what they call the equipment refresh. Right now, Axon has, I think it's the Body 4 and the Fleet 3 camera. When they come out with the Axon Body 5, we would get a refresh. At some point, they would have the 28 cameras we need. They'd give them to us, they'd take their old ones back, and we'd have the newest cameras. It's really the bread and butter of programs like this where you're contractually locked into this company. Utility did it, kind of underhandedly. I don't know if I want to go over the details of that, but when we started with Utility, we had a camera in the vest. There's a phone, the base phone, their cell phones is what they are, and they got them with their software and put in their own stuff. The base model phone we started with Utility was about a $600 or $700 phone. At 3 years, they did our equipment refresh. This phone in here now is about a $200 phone. So we actually kind of got downgraded with an equipment refresh.
I have a question for the sheriff. Are you currently budgeting for, I know it was a lump sum agreement with the utility back in '21 when we bought those, but you're not currently
No,
budgeting, so this would require a change in that as well.
Well,
I didn't get that.
Oops,
Could
sorry.
you try again?
but will it? Because the first payment actually won't come out until January 27th, so this would actually be, right?
Yeah, that's my point,
Yeah.
is that, but,
Okay.
Yeah, so we would just have to add it, a line item to our 2027 budget and have it in there moving forward, correct?
But Exxon did require the down payment.
$1,000, yes, and then the only other thing, and something might come up that I'm not thinking of, but the only other thing that we would need before we implement all this, that would be a expense for us, would be the vest carriers. And really, if that $10,000 was a straw that broke the camel's back, we could mount them to this, it just wouldn't be right in the center. Juggle some stuff around and put it right over here, right over there, but to do it the way we want to do it, we would need new vests.
I think we'd slowly integrate new vests. I don't think we'd buy them all at one time. I think we would do more of a slow roll with that. Obviously, the patrol guys would be first.
That's not the big part of the whole investment. The $9,000 is a pretty,
Drop in the bucket compared to the bottom line there.
So switching from utility to Axon, it's, looks like utility is about a 1.4 over 10 years, right? 1.4 million? That's just your estimate?
Utility didn't give me a 10-year contract. I'm not sure if they do.
5 years, 761, 775.
And I would be kind of leery to sign a 10-year
Yeah. And
with
then-
utility.
And Axum is 2.385.
For the 10-year, yes.
And Motorola, about 1.5, you
The
think?
Motorola was just shy of 1.5, but then you can figure we would need new tasers. And if we wanted the VR, which I didn't bring a presentation. I should have brought it and showed it to you, but I didn't want to take too much time. If we went with a package with just that, we would add probably about $300,000 to a 10-year contract, bringing the Motorola one up to about 1.8.
Jesse, I wanted to ask a question on the financial side. So we are still under the 3% cap. And so my question to you is, we're kind of waiting on this primary to see if something like the public safety tax is going to pass. That could make a big difference in this decision. Would it be okay if the commission waited to have some preliminary budget numbers, and also to see kind of how the preliminary primary goes? I know that the results aren't going to be final until, the canvassing at the, in July there, but they would know kind of where the, preliminary results are. Could we have a special meeting sometime?
That is kind of like I say, I would stick to that as a number. Would be like, if we're going to sign a contract with anybody but utility, we would have to do it by the end of the July meeting so that things can get made and shipped and installed and all that stuff. So we could table this until the July meeting. We could do a special meeting between the primary and I guess that's up to the commission, not necessarily me, but we could wait.
So would
until
July
the-
7th be too, and the reason why I ask is because I don't have the preliminary budget numbers out yet. I also, when you're talking about a 3% cap on our general fund, you're looking at Axon 5 years, you're pretty much using the entire 3% cap that's available for the entire general fund just for cameras in the budget. And so I just want to make sure that the commission is aware of that. And then if the sales tax doesn't go anywhere, then we know that we don't have anything else coming in as well. And that's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, it could be tabled till July and not affect anything too greatly.
well, and I think it allows for further discussion too, if the timing works. We could, like I said, if you said it had to be done by the end of June, we could do a special meeting, but if July 7th works, we'll do it that way as well. Okay.
Should work.
Okay, any other questions for Jesse?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You guys are welcome to stop by my office, try the VR headset, or look at some of the stuff we do have here.
Thank you. Okay, we have one engineer here, so we'll get Andrew going and out the door in case we run into our special meeting. So if you want to give your report and presentation on the agreement.
Morning, Commissioners. Andrew Schrank with Highlands Engineering. A couple projects to update you on today. First of all, our 2nd Avenue Northwest Bridge Replacement Project in Belfield. We're about 95% through our plans. We've submitted our Army Corps permit. We've submitted our floodplain permit. We're working on finalizing easements with landowners for that project. So we're replacing that bridge with a precast reinforced box culvert. That'll be a double 15 by 10 by 70 feet long. So we're hoping to bid that one soon here, as long as easement negotiations go well. I've talked with both landowners and they seem generally in agreement, so it's just a matter of getting those easements signed so we can get that out for bid. If possible, I'd like to advertise that in the next couple weeks for the July 7th commission meeting. Was just curious what time you guys would like to open bids if we're able to make that meeting. 10 o'clock, does that typically
Sure.
work? Okay, sounds great. Any other questions on that project?
Any other questions, guys?
Our second project is 98th Avenue Southwest. This is also a bridge replacement with a precast reinforced box culvert. That'd be an 18-foot by 9-foot box culvert. We're about 80% through our plans. We're working on environmental permitting, easements, and some of those documents to wrap that project up. We're kind of waiting for county funding to be available to complete that and advertise that. So most likely be a next year project if we don't get funding on that very soon here to get that box ordered and everything. But about 80% through that project as well. With that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
So, one with this Ducks Unlimited, any low water crossing, a payment has to be made to Ducks Unlimited?
No, so any permanent impact to wetlands, you either need to mitigate those impacts, and typically they like those to be mitigated on site if you can, or you need to mitigate them off site. If you go off site, usually it's a 2-to-1 ratio. The other option is to purchase credits from a Ducks Unlimited or a similar person who has already generated wetlands.
Okay.
That's usually your easiest route because then you don't have to go through the verification that those wetlands are actually established and in conformance. So we've typically recommend just purchasing those credits for permanent impacts. And what that would be is, when we take a bridge and we replace it with a box culvert, we're placing fill within that wetland that used to be under that bridge.
Okay.
So we have to purchase those credits that exceed a certain area or mitigate those impacts in some way.
Okay.
It's about $85,000 an acre right now is what we see is being charged by Ducks Unlimited. So usually you don't have a full acre of impact. Usually it's 1/10 of an acre or something like that, but that's the cost currently for those credits.
Do they break it down, or is it minimum 1 acre every time?
They'll prorate it down. So yeah, if you buy 1/10 of an acre, it's $8,500 and yep, it's prorated out, but 1 acre is about $85,000 and
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want to do the easement now
Yeah,
as well? Okay,
yes.
perfect. So we also have an access easement agreement for the county for a subdivision we're working on with the city called Eagles Point Second Subdivision. So the owners would like to take a couple lots and create 8 lots out of them. The development actually has existing gravel roads on each side. They're private roads, not maintained by the county. So they would access 4 lots on each side of this development from those existing roads. So as part of this development, the city's asked us to get easements for maintenance of those roadways. And the biggest concern there is emergency access. So fire trucks, ambulance, making sure it's maintained to a level that will support those vehicles. So that's why we're bringing it forth to the county. What this easement says is the owner of these lots, whoever that is in perpetuity, would maintain these roads to meet basically the weights of what your fire truck are that are listed in here. If they do not do that, the county will notify them, give them a 30-day notice that your roads are not up to par, you guys need to improve them. If they still don't maintain them, the county can come in and maintain them and charge the owners for that cost. I did review the grantor, grantee. We had a discussion on that prior to the meeting here, Neil. I did find the signatures are where that is incorrect. So we
that's
switched
where I found it,
on the
yeah.
headings, the grantor and grantee are switched on the last signature pages there.
Got it.
So if you want to make that a condition of approval to get those switched, we can get an updated document for that.
Okay.
Otherwise, if there's any other questions, I'd be happy to address those as well.
Any questions for Andrew? Okay, if none, entertain a motion to authorize the execution of the easement with the noted change.
Make the motion to authorize the agreement with the noted change.
By Commissioner White, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. None, thank you. Commissioner White, you want to give a quick road report, department report, since Todd's absent?
Todd not here today, so he gave us an update. Crack sealing, hot pour, and route and rubber operations are completed. Spring and summer blading is in progress. Durap patch operations are in progress and nearly completed. The projects, the 3 bridge replacement to low water crossings by county forces to being next week. Bridge replacement north of Richardson to start into middle of August. The city of Belfield replacement to be,
You're being rained out.
I'm sorry. Bridge replacement north of Richardson to start into the middle of August. City of Belfield bridge replacement to be bid at July commission meeting. And Aztec chip sealing project will start in the middle to end of July. And that's what Todd's update.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you. You do have a KLJ report in your packet?
KLJ did not make it to this meeting today. They're in Golden
Right,
Valley.
right.
Yep.
That's what I referenced. Can anybody do something in 4 minutes? Okay, yeah, let's do that. Commissioner White, that's 6,800.
Oh, yeah. Make a motion to approve the Ducks Unlimited 2 invoices of $6,800 apiece to be paid.
So evidently that must be like 1/10 of an acre as well, huh? If I understand Andrew correctly?
Yeah, I think they were 0.038 acres or something like that apiece. So there was 3 low water crossing projects. 2 of the sites met the threshold to have to mitigate, and 1 of the sites was under the threshold. So, but it was roughly 0.04 acres or something like that for 2 different sites.
So is there a verification or a audit procedure that those dollars, these dollars get spent accordingly with the requirements?
So-
Or does DOT just go put on, or Ducks Unlimited just go put on a banquet
Ducks
somewhere?
Unlimited will provide you a letter back that you have purchased those credits. That gets submitted to the Army Corps as part of our permit, and they will verify as part of that permit that we have purchased those credits. So that's a condition of the permit that they issued, and we have to submit that back to the Army Corps. The receipt essentially that we receive from Ducks Unlimited gets submitted to the Army Corps to prove we met that requirement.
Okay, and then the Corps puts some requirements on Ducks Unlimited to make sure
Correct.
those projects are done
Yep,
correctly.
and that's already been done through the Corps with Ducks Unlimited. So these wetlands have already been established and approved by the Corps. We're just buying those credits back now at this time.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
It's like buying carbon credits.
Yep, a big scheme.
Very similar.
Yeah.
All right. It is,
We get a motion to approve
oh, we need, yeah, I'm sorry.
you made a motion.
I made a motion.
Yep, can I get a second? I'm sorry.
A second.
By Commissioner Marsh. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. Okay. It is 10 o'clock. We have a noticed Board of Equalization meeting at this time. So, Director Wandler, you want to start?
I will. See how I can get my papers messed up this year. Okay, Chairman Messer, members of the board, I'm Natalie Wandler, the Stark County Tax Director. We're here today for the County Board of Equalization, my favorite meeting of the year. The board's got a copy of the agenda and all of the papers that we'll go through today. We are here to discuss the 2026 values and approve them values for the 2026 tax year. We'll start out with the five small cities, then the city of Dickinson, and then the county. Before we start, anybody that's here to talk or would like to present their case or is actually here for the Board of Equalization, we need you to sign up with Sarah in the back. We have to have them names for our minutes, so please write legibly. Let's see. Anybody that would like to speak, when we bring up your city or if you're in the county, you'll need to come up to the podium at the time that we ask you to. If you're in the city of Taylor, we're talking about Taylor. I'll say if there's anybody in Taylor that would like to come speak, that's the time that we would like you to come up. Once we talk about your value, a value gets approved, then we'll move on to the next city or county. So let's start out with the city of Belfield.
Just a quick
ahead.
note, so they can also chime in on phone.
Yes, if they called into the meeting, yes, they can, we will ask, so at that point, just say, yep, you're here on the, called in or on video. I don't know if we even have video right now, but. So we're gonna start off with the city of Belfield. We did all these meetings back in April. I did have one gentleman show up in Belfield. He didn't really have a problem with his value. I called him the next day. He didn't want me to come look at his house. He just had a point to make and that was it. So we didn't have to go out and look at anything. We didn't adjust any values. So for the new market value for the city of Belfield for 2026 is $69,553,800, which makes the taxable value $3,232,389, which is an increase of $95,619. At the point I did up these worksheets, we had 22 homestead credits, 16 veteran credits, and last year they had 4 new building permits. New construction in residential was 578,200. Do we have anybody that?
So
Yes.
of the, just quick question,
Yep.
just so everybody's on the same page, of the 2.1 million increase in valuation, 578 of that was new
Was
construction?
new construction.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All of our residential went up 5% across the board for the county this year. So that's the rest of that increase.
Okay, anybody from Belfield that would like to comment? Or have a question? Hearing none, do we want to approve these one by one?
Yes.
Okay, so I would
Please.
entertain a motion to establish the 2026 market value and 2026 taxable value for the city of Belfield as recommended by Director Wandler.
I'll make the motion
Okay,
to accept the 2026 market value and the 2026 taxable value.
okay, we have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
By Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion, comments? Okay, we'll do roll call on each one of those. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Belfield is approved. Thank you.
Okay, for the city of South Hart, their market value for 2026 is $47,959,200. Their taxable value is $2,207,082. So they're in, which is an increase of 23,408 in taxable value. Their new construction in residential was 591,900. They had 8 homestead credits, 2 veteran credits, and 10 building permits for 2025.
So did they have a net decrease in value without new construction? You have 591 new construction and 546 an increase in value. Was it probably a demolition or something?
They
maybe?
did, yep, they had one. What did they have? Now you're gonna make me think on the spot, Neil.
Okay,
Yes, they did have something that they removed.
okay.
I just don't remember what it was.
So, to be clear, all existing structures on average went up 5%. The increase of 591 was due to new construction,
Yep,
but the decrease would have been parcels removed from the tax roll.
yes,
Okay, thank you.
yep. No, no. Norwegian Creek,
Norwegian,
no,
that
because
was
that's
Rich.
south of Belfield.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
that would be county stuff.
Counties, yeah.
That's
Okay,
where-
Was it the
that's-
old Schlumberger building?
That was, yes, there was a decrease out there.
Yep.
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Funny how we call it the old Schlumberger building. It
Yeah.
was never moved into.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the City of South Hart's values.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the market value for South Hart for 2026 and also the taxable value for 2026 as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Claris, do I have a second?
Second.
By Commissioner White. Any other discussion, questions? Anyone online or here want to comment? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you.
Okay, for Gladstone, their market value for 2026 is 19,017,300. Their taxable value is 863,310 for an increase of 59,427. They have in taxable. They had new construction in residential of 440,500 and commercial of 165,100. They had 8 homestead credits, 2 veteran credits, and 4 building permits for 2025.
Any questions or comments for Natalie? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the market and taxable values for the city of Gladstone.
Make a motion to approve the market value for 2026 as well as the tax value for 2026 for the city of Gladstone.
Motion by Commissioner White, do we have a second?
No second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion approved. Thank you.
Okay, for Taylor, their market value for 2026 is 17,384,600. Their taxable value is 791,853 for an increase in taxable value of 40,639. They had new construction in residential of 177,300 with 6 homestead credits, 4 veteran credits. They did not have any building permits last year.
That must have been a finished residence then.
There was one completion one,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yep, there were,
Okay.
they had a partial finish on that, oh, what was it? I can't even think of his name, but yes.
Okay. Any questions on Taylor? Comments on Taylor? Anybody online? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the market and taxable values for Taylor.
Mr. Chair, I'd move to approve the 2026 market value and taxable value for City of Taylor.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Claris,
No second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Taylor is approved.
Okay, and for Richardson, their new market value for 2026 is 93,793,300. Their taxable value is 4,496,392 for an increase in taxable value of 185,442. They had new construction in residential of 93,600 commercial of 2,758,300. Homestead,
83,600, not 93,000.
oh, 83, see, I'm dyslexic. Or just making up numbers. I'm almost done. Homestead credits, we had 35 in Richardson and 5 veteran credits, and there was 11 building permits last year. That commercial value is them 2 new buildings of Platzens out there by the interstate. They're new washing stations for his rail facility.
Okay, any questions, comments online for Richardson? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the market and taxable values for Richardson.
I'll make the motion to approve the 2026 market value and the 2026 taxable value for the city of Richardson.
Okay, motion by Commissioner White,
I'll second that.
by Commissioner Claris. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll have Chris from the city of Dickinson come up and do his numbers.
Morning, Commissioners. So what we have for the numbers as far as total valuations on the commercial side for the city of Dickinson would be 1,373,666,616, with a residential total of 2,169,684,500, for a total of 3,543,369,016, with a taxable valuation of 166,323,376
Okay. And that's, looks like you increased total valuation by
Yeah, I'm trying to find
just
that.
like 198 million.
I had that sheet with me. Yeah, I don't actually have my total sheet. I brought the end sheet, but I had 100,
Yeah.
189 pages, and I actually
So-
didn't get the difference total
Okay,
on those.
so
so.
the quick check on the memo you sent out earlier on April 15th, the taxable value is $166,322,570, and the one previously, excuse me, was $163,323, so I don't know if you have $1,000 and some odd cent change, or if that's math. If you want to come take a look, see what we have here.
It may have been a sheet that we had a math error in that we had corrected
Does it,
in between now
So
and
is
then.
this one right, or this?
Does
So
it-
the one you presented today is the correct one?
66,
does it match my last sheet that I will,
166, 323.
376.
That's the
Okay.
correct one?
Okay, so the one that, not the one that we were given today.
Right.
Correct.
166, 323,
376.
376, okay.
we'll have to look. I'm gonna have to go look. Okay, let them finish.
I just want to compare, make sure.
Yeah, we had made some corrections after our last BOE, and Natalie and I worked together yesterday to make sure, thought we had everything straight. But
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, I would entertain, oh, and is anybody here to make a comment? Yeah. But the individual appeals are done after this or as part of this?
Well, if they wanna go on to the state, they have to go to the city, the county, and then the state. So if there's anybody that wants to even just say that they were here,
Okay, for example, Mr. Steinbach is here, so does he need to address us now or when this is?
as long as he's here and he addresses the board, and then you can go to the state. Is that your intent? Do you wanna address the board, or do you?
Well, my question is, I took it to the city because they had raised I went to the state last year. And they came down with two assessors and went through my place with a fine tooth comb and they reduced it. And then 6 months later, the city sends me out this notice of increase of evaluation and it raised it like 9.25%, 9.5%. And I thought, gee, it's only been 6 months. And the state had gone down here and reduced it down there. And we get to the meeting, Mr. Dickinson goes, well, we were trying to recap the money we lost because the state came down and reduced it. Well, that's not the idea. To recap the money you
Yeah,
lost.
okay, if you're go-
We're supposed to be on the
Why
value
don't
of
you,
your property.
Dave, why don't you come up to the podium and then Mr. Dickinson can respond.
Well, I was saying that I went to the city because they had raised it 9.25% from 300,900 to 327,800. And the state had just been down and reevaluated it and reduced it from what the city had evaluated it last year after they had reduced it once because it was completely outrageous. They'd increased it 45% to start with.
So the state took you down at the state board meeting, they took you down to what value?
300,900.
Okay,
And when I
From-
spoke up there,
What does the
what,
city have
what
it
did
at?
it start at a year ago? You were at what,
it
Dave?
started at 345,700 from like 268 or whatever it was, or 265, I can't remember.
Okay,
I
okay,
got,
go
where's
ahead,
it at
sorry,
here?
I didn't.
Yeah, it was 238,500. And they jumped it all the way up to 345,700, which is ridiculous in 1 year. And they
Then the
they
state,
said, well, we haven't been in and evaluate. Well, Mr. Hirschfield was in there, I'm not sure how many years back, but after he was in. And he stood in my living room and he said, oh, it doesn't matter what condition your home is in. Somebody will pay that. And anybody that sells property knows that if somebody comes in and looks and your condition of your home isn't up to par, they aren't gonna buy it. And so I think that's ridiculous, but, and then I was here last year and you guys voted on it. And the comment was made, well, we didn't reduce anybody's last year. Well, I went back and I got a copy of all the meetings. And in 2024, they reduced Randy Ulmer's was set back to what his was before instead of being reduced. And so that was a complete lie of it. It says amended motion. To set the taxable value for Mr. Ullman's property at $262,200 for property tax year 2024, and it had been raised quite a bit up. It was raised 45,000. So when that statement was made, that was a complete lie that nobody the year before, because it had been. Maybe it was only one person, but then I'm only one person too.
yeah, and I may be old, but Ulmer had some extenuating circumstances down there, didn't he? But go ahead, Dave.
But you know, and the thing is the Scott Gallion had been down here, and they've got this thing here that Stark County has collected more taxes than wherever I got it here. And so you're sitting on more tax money than you're supposed to have, but they keep jacking our taxes up and not letting us reduce our property values to keep them in line. Why do you need more tax
I
money?
guarantee you, you are not paying more to Stark County today than you were 5 years ago. The other political subdivisions may be. So, you know, you and I could go sit down for coffee and have a long conversation about excess general funds, but, and I'd be happy to do that with you, Dave, so.
But anyhow, and I went to a meeting with Mr. Dickinson, and I asked him, I says, well, now, last year they came, and they weren't gonna reduce it. And so now that the city said that they would cut it back to 3% instead of 9.5%, which I think was ridiculous because it'd only been 6 months since the state had been here. 3% was actually too much, but it's better than over 9, you know. So he said I should come to the meeting today.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here, because we had met.
And your ask is to, what are you asking us to do with your valuation?
Not to jack it up to the 9%, to still accept what the city had reduced it to, because the county failed to reduce them last year when the city capped it at 15%. And you failed to reduce it last year when the city capped it at 15%. So I'm here to make sure that it doesn't get boosted up past this 3% they voted on this year.
Mr. Dickinson, he said he met with you.
Yeah, we sat in my office for about 2.5 hours and had some good conversation about property and other things, but just some clarification. We would never say, we're trying to just recap by raising the value. What had happened is the state had applied that value for 1 year alone. Once that value was put back into the software system to value it based off its amenities, you know, based off with sketch and everything else, it took the 5% previous year's trending and 3% for this year and added that together, which equaled the 9%. So had he not had that value removed, and the state had only set that for 1 year, he would have seen the 3 to 3.2% that all our other residential saw within the city of Dickinson.
That was only 6 months though.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but the state process, what I'm saying is, we can't have any control. They could take 6 months to do it, they could take 2 weeks to do it, they could take 9 months to do it. It just so happened that 6 months prior, the state is when they had scheduled their visit to your home.
So you've established a 2026 true and full of what on his property?
3099.
Yes.
300, 900, or 309?
309900.
309900.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you have 327 on the sheet of the printout that was handed to us.
Right. But we reduced it yesterday. I mean, when we went through and reviewed it, because they had missed it, I asked them
Oh,
if it
okay.
was the 3%, so.
Got it.
Yeah, it's
So
3099 is in the
2025 was established, whether it was by the city, county, or state, was established at 300,900, and his 2026 value as established by the city or the county was at 309,900.
Correct.
3%.
Is that acceptable to you, Dave, or no?
Not really, but I
Okay.
guess it's better than 327 maybe.
Yeah. Well, we tried last year to give you a little help, but
Well, and if I wouldn't have went back and got an open records thing on the last records and found this Randy Ulmer situation where they had kept it back, you know, well, that kind of makes somebody here some liars, because there was one.
Yeah.
Somebody should have brought it up or remembered it, I mean.
Well, and you gotta understand too, we do make changes prior to the Board of Equalization meeting in the beginning, from the time that the notices of assessment do go out. I mean, we have dozens and dozens of changes that we've made, which was done prior to the Board of Equalization and them approving those values for the 26 assessment year.
okay.
That's if it's warranted. You know, we aren't just gonna make willy-nilly changes. We actually make it off of objective errors, things like that, so.
I guess what makes me question, everybody keeps throwing this back, the state requires us to have this equalization, and the state comes down here and drops it. Someplace this equalization thing is not being followed or misinterpreted. And, when I got through, they took a break, and Michelle Strindon came over to me and thanked me for coming and pleading my case, and told me to come back and tell more people to come down. But apparently, I've talked to a bunch of people, and the time of the day, people are working here, and they don't wanna take away from work to come to the meeting this hour of the day, and you have to do it. State, unless you read the fine print at the bottom. I didn't know it last year, so I stopped up at the Capitol to find out where I had to go to be the meeting. And then they said, oh, you need to send all this information in to us before you can come to the meeting. And I didn't know that until I stopped up there at the state auditor's office in Bismarck, because I didn't see that quote on the bottom of any of these pages.
Okay, I'm still gonna ask what your wishes are, because we have, if it is a number, if you're requesting a number other than 3099, we need to act on it.
Well, I'd like it to stay it where it was, 300.
$300,900.
Yeah,
Okay.
for at least a year.
Any other questions for Mr. Steinbach?
So he had a 2025 valuation of 300,900 for 6 months. That's basically what happened,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Which just to clarify too, with him, whether it was 6 months, 2 months, or 8 months, it would have been payable the next year. So it would have been for the year period, whether it was January or December. So it was still payable the following year, no matter what month it was.
Gotcha.
So,
Wishes? I will ask a second time for any recommendation or motion on this item. Okay, I'll ask for a third time, any recommendation or motion on this item, without which the motion will die, or the action will die, or remain the same. Okay, hearing none. The value on that property will remain at 3099, okay? Anybody else? I see Mr. Parker's was on here. You made an adjustment at your meeting.
correct.
And on that one, we still have that data with us.
Yeah, his original value is 935,100. It was reduced by our city commission to 878,000 even. Total reduction of 57,100.
I see no notes there. What's the reasoning for the reduction? Sorry.
Okay.
I have no specific reason because I believe he was at true market value prior to that.
The commission initiated that change.
Good.
Okay, I think without Mr. Parker being here, we'll accept that one. Anybody else signed up, Sarah? Okay. We will move on to your full values then. or the full report?
Pretty much gave my full report, so we have a total of assessed value between commercial and residential of $3,543,351,116. And our taxable valuation was $166,322,570. And like I said, I did not have the amount change sheet with me, so I
Okay,
have the previous year.
Look at this one, Neil.
Huh?
The very last sheet in your packet.
okay,
Covers,
That's
covers
the
the.
last one I ran yesterday.
okay,
That's-
gotcha,
That should match. My final sheet and that one should match.
all right.
When he does his taxable value, he just adds the total, and so it never matches what ours shows until we put it in the system.
I physically have to do the math, and then her tax-wise system rounds differently by parcel, so.
Okay, so do we need to accept his true and full and taxable value? Okay,
So I'll make that motion to accept the commercial and residential with the total for 2026 and the taxable valuation for the 2026 as well for the city of Dickinson.
okay. We have a motion by Commissioner White,
I'll second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Then we have to do this, the summary,
The county, yes.
yes.
These are them big numbers where my tongue gets all twisted, so. So for the county, all the, let me look here. Gotta make sure I got this right. So total county market value is $1,750,798,735 for market value.
590.
This was 598.
Oh, God, see? Told ya. Okay, 1,750,598,735. I practiced that about 25 times this morning. I still can't get it right, so. The taxable value for 26 is 83,732,100, which is an increase from 2025 of 12,235,836. So then we got the breakdown of the commercial and the residential. Farmland went down 5% this year. So we didn't get a lot of phone calls, except for one from Neil's sister.
Out of stater, no longer a resident.
Out-of-stater.
I do not-
California
I
on
don't-
top of it.
I don't claim her.
It was very comical. Sarah and I got a kick out of it. So in the county, we had new construction of residential of 21,879,900, commercial of 3,861,905, for a total of 25,741,805. We had 92 homestead credits, 48 veteran credits, and 88 building permits for 2025. So I guess we can approve that, and then I can give the totals for everything.
Okay, so, would like to approve the Tony,
Suppose we should make sure there's nobody from the county
yeah,
that,
any comments, but we would approve the total county market value and taxable value.
right.
Okay,
And that negative in the commercial side, that's what Sarah was saying, was that stuff in Norwegian Creek that went from commercial to ag land again,
okay.
so.
Natalie, with your numbers, I see on this sheet that you're reading off of
Yep,
in the packet, okay? Under City of Dickinson, you have 166,322,570.
where are you at?
Kind of 3/4 of the way down the
Yep.
page.
On the right side.
And the only reason why I'm pointing this out is because the commission just approved 166,323,376.
I don't know where you're looking at.
Right side, right above on the taxable value.
Okay,
About 3/4 of the way down.
yeah,
The number you have there is 166,322,570.
okay.
And then the commissioners just approved.
Actually, that is the correct number.
Is that the
That's what
correct
we
number?
just
As he
approved.
said, he reduced it from the
Yeah, he changed it.
323.
He read off this number because I had him,
Yep.
Right.
I had him read
Right,
that
so-
number from
Read
my
that,
paperwork.
reread that one.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep,
So I can cross this one out?
Yes.
yes.
Because right, because that was your original form. The one that came yesterday or today should be the 22, because he said
Yes.
he reduced it. Didn't increase.
Yes, it was actually,
But this
yes.
is the increased, okay.
It's the
'Cause you guys
17,900 from
approved- See this?
Mr. Steinbach's
Well,
So
property
we're
that
going
we
off of
correct.
this.
the one he gave.
Okay, because we'll have to have it right in the minutes. so
Yeah,
I just
okay.
want to make sure.
So since the motion didn't, let's just make sure the motion reflects the total valuation for the city of Dickinson for 2026, or excuse me, the taxable value would be $166,322,570.
Yep, that's what we
Okay.
got. Okay,
Thanks now.
yep,
Okay.
no problem.
All right, so need a motion to approve the total county market value and taxable value for 2026. And just for the record, the market value is $1,750,598,735, and the taxable value recommendation, $83,732,100.
I'll make the motion to approve the 2026 total county market value, as well as the 2026 total county for Stark County taxable value.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner White,
I'll second that.
by Commissioner Claris. Any other comments? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion approved.
Okay, so for our total numbers for the year is 5,293,949,851 in market value. Taxable value is 250,054,670, which is an increase from last year of 10,356,535. Average eggland acres, or price per acre is $438.96.
Okay, questions,
That's all I need.
comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to approve the market value for 2026 and the taxable value for 2026 as presented.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White.
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, do you want to take a break since you've been at it since 8 o'clock? Let's take a 10-minute break.
Do we have, we're done with that equalization.
Start again at 10:50. Okay, we'll reconvene the meeting.
Sorry.
We're going to change the order a little bit just to get things kind of uniform. Brad, are you ready?
Please enter your. The conference is currently ending. You will hear silence or music on hold when connected.
Sorry for the short notice.
No, you're good.
Okay. Good morning still, yep. So Brad Banio, Stark County Emergency Services. So just kind of a quick update. So all the community lifelines, everything's good. I think it's been a little bit since we've done an update with you guys, so kind of going through. So calls for service, May, everything in the parentheses is kind of a tallied year to date to this point. But last month, May, we had 29 controlled burns, 6 gas leaks, 4 bonfires, 12 brush fires, 3 vehicle fires, 4 smoke or odor smells, 2 structure fires, 1 carbon monoxide, and then 7 that were in the other category. So 68 total calls for the month of May. Then year to date, we're at that 323 calls for Stark County. That's not including, obviously, the ambulance service or anything like that. That's just the fire calls in the county. As far as the drought outlook kind of for us, the North Dakota has mostly been drought free going into June 1st here. Up to June 1st, the Stark County still remains unaffected by drought, although there are some areas kind of to the north and northwest there that are slowly kind of creeping into that abnormally dry and moderate drought. Even a little bit of severe drought there kind of on the far west edge there. But for the most part, we're good, and we're not really anticipating to go, into drought anytime soon. According to this, it looks like. Hopefully, as long as we keep this rain coming, we should be good. Again, too, so Stark County does have a fire declaration that is in place. It's in place every year, starting the beginning of the year in January and goes to the end of the year. This basically just imposes restrictions on what, the burning of materials in Stark County, and it follows the North Dakota Rangeland Index. That website kind of in the center there for anyone watching online. You can go to that web link, and it should bring you to the Rangeland Index screen, which is that green, blue, yellow, red, orange picture of the state that everyone kind of is familiar with. And then two, if any violations of the burn ban could result in penalties. So this is the burn restriction that we have in place, and this can be found on our website if you go to starkcountynd.gov, click on the emergency services tab, burn restriction, and then the actual full restriction pops up on there. This is kind of what we go by. So the low to moderate conditions, that green and blue, typically you can have the controlled burns, your bonfires, fire pits, stuff like that. But we do request that you call it into dispatch, and that's that number, that 701-456-7759, just to let them know. I have a picture here on the next slide that kind of explains the reasoning why. Just because controlled burns, even though they are approved, can sometimes, actually here, I'll just go to the next slide, can look like something larger. So this was a controlled burn that was called in and it was approved. We were in the conditions. It rained earlier that day, but from a distance, you couldn't tell if that's a controlled burn or if that's a structure fire or someone that ultimately needs help. So that's why we ask that the controlled burn, especially something like this, that they get called in, just so that way it notifies the fire district in that area, the chief or the officer in charge, that it is going on, and that way if people do call into dispatch with concerns of a structure fire or something going on, that they can let them know there is a controlled burn in the area. We'll have someone go check it out to verify, but this is kind of just a good picture to show why we still request that they get called in. Now to that range line index, so the easiest way to get to it, you can either go to our website, again, that's starkcountynd.gov, click on our emergency services tab, and then in burn restrictions, there's a link, or you can also go to ndresponse.gov. It'll bring you to this page on the top right there, that practice safe open burning in North Dakota, that page. And then kind of in the middle there, you can click here to open the map, which brings you to the dialog box where you have to agree to the terms and conditions before it'll allow you to go to the next page. Click OK. And this is kind of where people get somewhat confused. It is a little confusing when you first look at it, if you're not familiar with it or haven't really interacted with the map. But it brings you to this white and red map that looks like, half the state is in a burn ban or burn restriction, which it is, but it's the restrictions that are in place. It's not necessarily saying that you can't have a fire. Any of the counties that are highlighted in red just indicate that they have restrictions in place, which Stark County always has restrictions in place. That's why we'll always be red. Doesn't necessarily mean that you can't burn. It just means that you have to follow whatever restriction is in place for that day. If you click on the county, so on there, like Stark County is highlighted in kind of pink, if you can see that. On the left side there, it pops up a pane that then tells you what the current restriction is. But what people generally are used to seeing is that green and blue map, which if you go to the top on that red and white screen, there's a tab that says Fire Danger Rating tab, or that tab. If you click on that one, it brings you to that green and blue North Dakota map that I think the general public is probably more used to seeing. So they just kind of changed the way to get to that. You used to be able to just click on it and it took you right to that green, blue, yellow shaded North Dakota map. Now there's a couple more steps in the process, but this is the route to get to that. So tornado sirens or the outdoor warning sirens, we are starting that again. They actually started testing on May 20th. Was the first time we ran through those. So if those of you that probably heard them going off around the area, we just finished up our maintenance of the outdoor warning sirens here over the month of May. So you may have heard them going off probably more than normal. Just a reminder, they will be performed every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for typically a duration of 30 seconds. So a full activation is roughly 3 minutes. The tests are 30 seconds. So there's a big difference between a full activation and just the test. Also, if there is any like inclement weather, say if we're in a storm that could potentially produce something that would could activate the tornado sirens or the outdoor warning sirens, we'll delay like the testing for that day because just to not confuse anyone. But those are some of the categories that could activate a tornado warning, or the sirens. A tornado warning in any community, funnel cloud or tornado reported within 15 miles and in direct path of a city within Stark County. Sustained winds exceeding 70 miles an hour or greater, and that sustained is a 2-minute average. And then sirens can also be activated for any life-threatening situation that occurs. A shelter in place is a good example. So that's another reason, they're outdoor warning sirens, so they're intended for those outdoors to seek shelter when they go off, not for hearing the sirens to go outside and see what's going on. And that's why a lot of times people may not hear them indoors. If you hear them indoors, great, but they're intended for alerting the outdoor public, and that's why they're generally placed near high gathering areas where the public needs to seek shelter if something does come up.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So now, and you've probably gone through this before, how many sirens do we have in the county?
There's 19 throughout Stark County.
Have you added any? When was the last time we added any? Or, I mean, it's a pretty well coverage.
We actually did a sound study last summer. We probably need to do another one again, just kind of verify the coverage. There's a couple of areas that probably could use some additional coverage. We need to have another sound study and then the cost of the sirens, we'll have to start, you know, budgeting for, trying to figure out, you know, where the best place to put them, and how to budget for them. But
Yeah, I was just wondering how well the county is covered for this.
it's pretty well. So the old, or the system that we currently have is fairly dated, I guess you could say. There are newer sirens, but there are some pretty old, you know, original sirens too. So there's some that, and there's options out there that we could look at doing, like a cellular option versus because all of our sirens right now are activated via radio. Radio transmission activates them. So we could look at doing like a cellular that would, you know, operate off an LTE or a
But
cell site.
you'd still use the same siren, just a different communication.
Potentially, yeah. So we could add like newer sirens that operate off of like that LTE or like the cellular based, and it would still run through the same program. They would just activate via a different route versus the radio option. So there's ways to expand our system. It just needs to be, you know, really, I guess, looked at and seeing what those gaps are.
But I mean, the siren itself, would they have to replace the whole siren if they went to that route, or would they just replace the communication between you and the
the
siren?
communication stuff, more than likely. The siren itself should be good, you know, unless there's like a major fail or something. But you know, we just had maintenance on all of our stuff. Everything's green, up and running, operational. But yeah, for the most part, now adding, you know, obviously adding a siren, we'd have to add the whole system and everything. But to update the old stuff, we could potentially just update the communication side of it and not the alerting side of it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have a physical address for that new building on the fairgrounds?
I haven't seen anything yet. No,
Is there going to be a separate address for that building?
there should be. I guess I haven't seen anything yet come across my desk for a address for it.
So,
You have to have
Should
an
be.
911 to get the building permit, so.
Yeah, should be, but I haven't seen anything yet, no. Yeah, I say I can look into that, I guess, afterwards, yeah,
Can you just shoot me an email on it too?
yeah. Any other questions on the outdoor warning sirens, or? Good, okay. So then that kind of brings me into my next part here, which we have, and actually Mr. Kostelecki is here, but the request for a personal storm shelter construction, so the reimbursement for it. So he found the state offers a grant program that a resident, or, you know, a homeowner, a resident can apply for to get a storm shelter for their property. This grant is through our Stark County's hazard mitigation program, which we actually just renewed our multi-hazard mitigation plan, and it'll be good through 2031 now. It's good for 5 years. But that plan, you know, promotes the public policies and protects citizens, critical facilities, infrastructure, private property, and the environment from both natural and human-made hazards. And that all participating jurisdictions then qualify to apply for funding through FEMA's Hazard Mitigation Assistance Program. So I don't know exactly which grant it is through the state, but that grant that he applied for, he was awarded, or has the potential to be awarded the funding to install this storm shelter on his property. The only thing that we would be looking for is a resident themselves cannot receive reimbursement through FEMA for these types of projects. So it wouldn't be any different than how we do our grant funding through the grants and stuff. He would pay for everything up front, so it doesn't cost the county anything. He would pay for everything up front, and then FEMA would send the reimbursement check to the county, and then the county would have to reimburse Mr. Kostelecki that share. So that's where the county comes into place. The county basically just has to be kind of a conduit between the resident and the FEMA grant. So that's just looking for, I guess, the approval for him to proceed forward with that grant funding, if the county would be willing to reimburse him when that reimbursement check comes into the county.
I think it'd be interesting to have Mr. Koslecki come,
Yeah, if he wants to
how he
speak on it some
found
more.
this and what he did.
I say, and then those are the pictures that, kind of what he's looking at.
Yeah, so those are the pictures
That-
that
You
are
wanna
actually.
just go ahead and
Sorry.
state your name?
Ben Koslecki. Those are actually the pictures from the website that I found it on. I think don't remember the name of the site. But, so what it is it's a 10-person underground tornado shelter. You can see that they have to dig into the ground. There is air inlets up below the door. There. So what they would do basically is we just dig a hole down there, and then they place this steel structure in there, cover it back up with fill dirt. So it's just a tornado shelter for our house that we have that's just on posts and piers. So the way that I stumbled upon it, I was looking for tornado shelters, and on the website it said contact your local hazard mitigation department. And I was like, oh geez, if I can get someone to pay for it, if they pay for a part of it, and it looks like, I don't remember the exact amount, but I think it said 80% is what I believe. Don't quote me on that. But so the way that it works is I have to get all of the construction all set up. So I'd get a quote from a contractor. I would submit that to the state hazard mitigation gentleman, whose name's Todd. I'm gonna butcher his last name, Jorse, I believe. So I would submit that to him. They would give me the green light, say, yeah, you're all good to go. And once that's good to go, I would pay for everything, and then they would give you the payment, and then essentially just be a pass-through that would get passed on
So
to
was
me, is
there-
what I'm understanding.
Was there a certain criteria of the quality, the size?
Yes,
of the-
it all has to be, I don't know the exact numbers, but it has to be a FEMA number, something, and a class number. And it was approved by the state, by Mr. Jorse, because we had looked at all that. And then he said the next step was to go to the county and talk to Elena about it.
So I will let the commission know it was a surprise to us, right? Because we never had anybody do this before. And so FEMA is federal, and the state applies for these FEMA grant funding, this program in specific, I think in like a lump sum. And then they informed us that we would have to then issue the check to the individual once he paid for everything, and he would have to show those receipts of being paid. But they couldn't get the federal dollars from the federal side to the individual without it going through the county, which then made me panic because we're issuing a check, right, to an individual from the county. So I spoke to Elena, we did talk to Cass County's emergency manager, and this is something that a lot of them in Cass County have been doing, and I don't know, it was very interesting to find that out, that this was a possibility. And so we do kind of have that side figured out, as long as Brad receives the paperwork also, and that we can put it in with our audit files if it comes up in our audit, so.
So when you checked with these people in Cass County, what was the turnaround between the time that they approached FEMA for the money and getting the money back?
That was my question too.
Honestly, Elena might have asked them that question, because I just talked about the money side as far as can we issue a
Right.
check to an individual. But I think Elena probably got more answers on the emergency management side, because their emergency management department takes care of it in that sense.
If it's anything like our previous grants, usually the turnarounds, once the paperwork has been submitted that the payment has been received and they actually have, confirmation, of payment and everything, the turnaround is usually fairly quick. I want to say it's usually within like 30 days, 30 to 60 days. It's not like
Well,
a
I see
month or a
this-
year that you're
Yeah,
waiting.
I see this as a potential, a lot of use, a lot of use.
Yeah.
So my question to you again, Mr. Koslecki, was how many vendor units are approved out there? What was your selection? Was it 5? Was it 50?
No, when I talked to Mr. Jorse with the state, he was pretty ecstatic that we were going to do it, so I don't think they get many
Okay.
of them.
But as far as the vendor, the unit itself.
Oh, as soon as the unit itself?
You as a customer, how many choices did you have?
So there's quite a bit, but the way that it works for the program is I have to tell Mr. Jorce what I'm going to be using it for, how many people are going to be in there, and then he has to see if it fits. So like if I have a family of 5, so if I apply for a 20-person shelter, he's going to be like, why are you applying for a 20-person shelter?
Yeah.
So he has to look at it, but the site itself has, I was originally looking for an in-garage shelter. And then I saw an underground shelter and I thought, I don't have to put it in my garage, I'm not going to lose garage space. So they have 3 different kinds. They have a above ground shelter that you can anchor to cement. It can be inside or outside. And then they have a in-ground one that you can basically put into the concrete and you can slide it over so you can park over it if you need to. And then they have ones like this one that's underground, and they go anywhere from, the site that I saw, they go from anywhere from 4-person all the way up to 10-person. You can special order them up to like 20. But there are some shelters out there where you can get them for like a full-on community. Like they have like a community center one that I stumbled upon that could fit like 100 and some people in there. But they're fairly expensive. I mean, for this one, just the shelter itself, I was quoted about 10 grand for the shelter.
And it just comes in one unit and
Yep,
you
it's
dig the
just
hole
if
and-
you the one where that Bobcat is.
Yep, I
it'll
saw that.
it'll be just like that. It's just a big steel structure, and there's criteria that you have to dig the hole down a certain feet. I think it's like 6 feet down. So then you have to have 12-foot clearance so that air vents.
So now, but there's no power or anything into there.
No, there's no power. There is ports available for power if you want to run power in there. So that is an option. They do.
Just for the venting.
Yep. Yeah. The venting itself vented is
It's like the old root cellars.
Correct. Yep. It's basically a glorified still root cellar. Is what I mean. Is really what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is really
Probably
what it
some
is.
battery powered lights that you recharge or something.
Correct. Yeah. You could do that too. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's cool.
I think very, very good.
I think this is going to be Stark County's first test run on it, and then if it goes well, we might have more people that.
You might be
Well, I
standing in
think
front
it
of us
would-
again.
I think it would be prudent if this goes unscarred, that it be an educational tool of your office
Yes.
Yeah.
to promote this.
And I mean, we've been looking, for community type shelters for quite a while, and it's hard to find buildings that are, first of all, they need to be an engineer would have to actually certify it. There's probably not very many of them in the community and the county themselves that are actually engineered to withstand the criterias. These shelters themselves have to meet certain criteria before FEMA will even actually allow you to purchase them. So like the site that Mr. Kostelnicki was looking at, obviously they meet those criteria if FEMA is allowing him to purchase that. So they go through some rigorous testing before, especially when it's FEMA dollars that they're putting towards it.
Right.
So
All right, well, thank you. So I guess you're looking for a motion to have Stark County be the vehicle for reimbursement?
yep,
Okay.
basically.
I'll make the motion.
By Commissioner
Second.
Marsh, second by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you. And then I have, thank you. I have one more, a reimbursement for or approval for, not reimbursement, approval to pay an invoice for Rapid SOS, the communicator module for our Dickinson Stark Communication Center, dispatch center, basically. Just one of the modules. It's nothing new. It's just
It's in your,
renewing our invoice.
it's in your budget.
Yeah, it'd come out of the E911 funds. Just looking for that approval.
I'd make that motion.
By Commissioner Claris,
Second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk.
Aye.
Commissioner White. Commissioner Marsh.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
And then if you don't have any other questions, that's all I got.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joetta, got a couple things for us.
Hey, good morning, Commissioners. Joetta Piercy, Human Resources Director. In your packets, there's a policy that we wrote for awards and recognition. It's basically putting into writing what we've been doing. It's split into 3 different sections. The first one is years of service recognition. And that's what we've been doing at the county commission meetings, recognizing those individuals. And then this last year, we added the insurance premium reductions with those and the HSA changes. So that is the main thing there. The second piece is the retirement awards. We had a short paragraph in the auditor's office that they'd been doing over the years. So we just put it into a more formal document here, and it basically follows the state retirement awards policy there. And basically at 15 years, an employee could be recognized and given a gift with a value not to exceed $200. If they didn't go the gift route and they did like a gift card or a gift certificate, they would just need to know that that would be taxed. So you don't have to tax gifts, but you do have to tax gift cards or gift certificates. And we would never give anybody cash either.
So did you say that it was rewritten, some of it was rewritten to follow the states? Because I do have a hard, like, I see like the farewell party upon agreement of the team member and department head, and funding for the farewell party will be paid from the department respective budget. I have a hard time thinking that the state would allow somebody, I mean, what if somebody has a $5,000 farewell party? Like, there's no.
Well, I can't believe they have that much money in their budget for it, but okay.
But there's some departments that do have a lot of excess funds in their budget sometimes.
Yikes, okay. Well, I mean, I kind of discussed this with Corey. If we want to put something more, like it can be cake, cookies, I don't know if you want to limit that, but that was basically, I mean, the state, it just talks, this is what the state has in Century Code. A travel or a farewell party may be provided upon agreement of the employee and the agency. Retirement awards may be withheld if there are documented problems with an employee's performance. So, I mean, we could put it in there with an agreement between the county and, to me, it was the department head who should have the responsibility to say, no, we're not, we can have cake and coffee, but we can't throw you a, full meal or something. I don't know. If you want to limit that.
Did you talk to the state, Stern? She had some concerns on this policy, and she said you wouldn't be here, that she wanted us to table it till. So have you talked to her about what those issues were?
No. No.
Yeah, we got that text or email about that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last piece of it is the team member appreciation. So that is our STAR recognition program, which follows our values of service, trustworthiness, accountability, and respect. And that is online right now in SharePoint. And then I included a sample poster that I'd like to have printed, and the little STAR recognition would be pull-off cards that anybody could fill out, and they would be posted in the different locations, like the courthouse, sheriff's office, road department are the main areas.
Any questions on that one? What are your wishes?
Well, I think if-
The advice of the state's attorney, I think we should table
Yeah.
the policy one.
Yep.
And this one as well?
Well, this, I guess.
Oh, this part of the policy, gotcha. Okay, so you want, we'll just table it until next meeting then.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Let's do your merit matrix, Joetta, right away.
Yes, I just wanted to get this on your agenda so that we could, we probably need to schedule a special meeting, I don't know, towards the end of June, so that we can go through the matrix and I can kind of have a better idea. We have about 20 outstanding evaluations. But after that's done, I can kind of give you a general idea of, you know, what the percentage increase would be by matrix, if there's 7 different matrices that we could go with. So,
You said we have 20 outstanding that have not been completed yet?
yeah,
And how long has this been out now? A month and a half or so?
about a month. Yeah, most were sent out.
What's acceptable?
Well, I'd asked that they'd all be done by the end of May. Yeah, yeah. So, I think there's only a couple employees that haven't done their self-evaluation, and then there's 2 that get done later. So, most of them are waiting for the supervisor to get it done. Okay.
So when Joetta and I spoke, I know that we have 2 meetings in July. Our next meeting, regular commission meeting, isn't till July 7th. And then we have another one in the middle of July specifically for budgeting. And one of my concerns was, well, to be honest with you, I haven't had time to really work on the budget myself because I've been preoccupied with elections. So what my concern was is that we weren't going to have very good numbers to look at in July if I don't have an idea of some of this budgeting earlier. And that's why I was seeing if the commission would potentially be interested in a special meeting, whether it's to look at the different percentage options, to discuss what you guys would like to see in more of our July meeting.
I like how we did it, what was it last year, 1, 3, and 5%? Is that what, the options that you gave, we put out there?
No, the merit matrix,
0.5 and 3%.
it's not that simple anymore.
What did we put out there last year?
We have a merit, so these are your merit matrix options. So, there's like 7 of them, and so that's what I would do. They change, so.
And then we picked one of those.
Yeah, and then you picked one of them, you picked this one, and so, then that tells me if somebody scores, you know, fully successful, and they're in this range, then they get that percentage increase, so. So that's kind of what we could look at, and by that time, I'll have all the market analysis done, because we just got that back from, the Association of Counties, too. So I'm in the midst of doing the market analysis to see if any ranges need updated.
And then by towards the end of June or middle of June in that range, I'd also probably actually have some budgeting worksheets for you to work on because it's not going to happen right now until after the primary's over on Tuesday. So if the commission is open to it, we would be looking at maybe having a special meeting either hopefully the week of maybe the 17th or, yes, of June, or, I mean, we could go into the beginning of the 22nd, 23rd range to discuss some of these matrices.
The only day that's open the week of the 22nd for me is the 22nd. because we got county tour taking 2 of those
Yes.
days.
And the 22nd, I think, is my post-election audit. Does that sound right? Canvassing. Canvassing is,
What time is that?
yes.
Not available the 22nd
Okay,
nor the 17th.
okay, yeah, we got,
So maybe we just put the discussion, can we send the information out to you and just have the discussion at the July 7th meeting? Would that,
and
Have
then
the
give
full-
you a week to put it together from the 7th through the 14th?
that's
a
kind of
lot.
where we'd wind up. I'd like to have more discussions if you guys can do earlier, but, I mean, obviously next week is not gonna work, because that's election day is Tuesday.
What about
And then
30, what about 30th, 29th, 30th, that week?
Is that June? Yeah? That would give me a little more time.
So the week of the 17th or week of the 23rd, you're gone all week, like,
Well, yeah, so I
County
could do
tours.
it in the afternoon on the 23rd.
I can do that too.
24th, 25th, we're doing county tours, so I think we're here at 8 AM on Wednesday, the 24th, and then gone for 2 days. So, I mean, if someone wants to do like 1:30 on the 23rd,
June 23rd.
does that work?
That works for me.
Works for me.
Okay, 1:30 on the 23rd.
At 1:30.
Just so we can get some things more hammered out before the July meeting, is what I'm hoping.
All right.
All right,
Okay?
thank
Thanks,
you.
Joetta.
Okay, let's do all these approvals and then we can do Army last. These won't take long. Why don't you go ahead and do your,
Do
you
you
got,
want to do home on the range quick?
oh, I'm sorry, sure.
Sorry.
We'll get our report from Home on the Range.
There we go. Okay, I just plugged this in here. All right, well, thank you, commissioners, for letting me jump in. Good morning, and I brought a little breakfast and rodeo tickets for you all to enjoy.
It's now almost lunch.
Considered an appetizer. Yeah, I just wanted to come back and say thank you. You guys were gracious enough to give Home on the Range $50,000 earlier this year to help build our Karis addition for our school, Badlands Learning Center. And I just wanted to update you and let you know what's been going on. I do have the final numbers for 2025. We served 65 students. Jointly, they passed 158 classes and earned 79 credits. Every single youth that entered our school earned a credit, well, earned at least a half a credit. 27 GED tests were passed, and we had 6 GED graduates. So that is quite amazing when you consider the last year our kids were in public school, less than a third of them earned any credit at all. So we're awfully happy about that. The projected total for our project was 3.2 million. We've raised 3 million, and actually I misspoke when I said we were only raising 200,000 more because I had included grants that were still out. So, you know, I'm hoping that we're only raising 200,000 more from grants and requests and those kinds of things. Here's just a couple of shots I took yesterday before the rain of the progress we're making. The first picture is the area in between is the courtyard, and the second picture is a shot of where the next 2 classrooms will be. We did have a reporter come out and did a little story. So I was just going to show it to you because you can see a nice overhead of the progress that we've made so far.
A $3 million expansion is taking shape at Home on the Range. Home on the Range is a nonprofit therapeutic working ranch near Sentinel Butte. Last June, the Badlands Learning Center opened. The on-site school has given youth the chance to attend classes right on the property, rather than at nearby schools. Now, crews are working on an addition to the Badlands Learning Center. The new space will include classrooms, an office, and a kitchenette.
Being able to give them the tools to, know how to function in a one-bedroom apartment, and have that ability to cook and take care of themselves, I think is important.
Construction is set to be complete by January. $200,000 is still needed to cover the expense. If you'd like to learn more or donate, we'll have information on our website.
Yeah, so that's where things are at. Here's just a picture of our finished project. Maybe. This will be what it looks like when we're done. On the bottom picture on the right-hand side, you'll see that's what's existing currently, and then the addition is what's jutting out on the left-hand side. So we're very excited and very grateful, and really just wanted to come and say thank you and, enjoy the cookies because they're the best. Also, championship ride August 1st, so I sent enough tickets for each of you to have 2 and bring out a crew because it's going to be a great show. So that's all.
Questions? Or comments? Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, now let's get some gaming approvals out of the way.
So the first one that I have up for you is the Green 19 Grill and Lounge, the American Legion Gaming. You just seen them come before us, just maybe, was that 2 months ago? Usually these renewals happen kind of halfway through the year, so this is their renewal for the following year. I have had some discussions with Parks and Rec because they actually own the space and then it's leased by the alcohol licensee. And they're the ones that are under the agreement with the American Legion for the pull tab machines. And I also had some discussions with the Attorney General's office. I wasn't sure how much oversight we have to do on the gaming side because the only other gaming location that we had was at the Leffer Bar. And, their stuff is kind of separated. What has happened, and, the commission needs to be aware of this, is there is a lot of golf scrambles that happen out at the golf course, and how it's currently set up. These raffles that want to have them at the clubhouse have to have permission from the American Legion. American Legion has to shut down their gaming if they want to have a raffle in the clubhouse. And so it's been kind of interesting going through with the raffle approvals because now American Legion doesn't want to shut down during raffles. And so we've had some that are holding them outside, and Parks and Rec is trying to figure out a situation with the clubhouse so that maybe it can be separated more. The AG's office has really put it back on the county for monitoring the gaming since it's in the county and it's not in the city. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit over my head on trying to monitor gaming. So I don't know what the commission wants to do with this. I haven't had issues with it says Leffer KC Special Club, but we're on, there you go. Okay. I haven't really had issues with Leffer because their gaming site and bar is kind of one section. And then where they do the raffles and like their turkeys and stuff is in the back area, which it has more separation, whereas the Dickinson Golf Course doesn't have that same amount of separation. And so I am open to suggestions from the county commission. on what they kind of want to do, because at the end of the day, it's also kind of on the county about, you know, implementing these things with them being in the county.
So we did approve a gaming license to American Legion.
We did the initial one. Now it's up for
Like
renewal.
last month or the month
Yeah.
before we did that.
Yeah.
And this is an amendment to that?
No, so this would be to renew their gaming, because that was not for a year. They were just finishing up that cycle.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so they're asking for a
right,
recite
Site
authorization.
actually, it's a June 1 type thing forward, right? That's when it is.
Yeah. Well, I want to say it's July
July.
1.
Yeah, July.
Application is that.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what the commission's thoughts are on this, because I kind of feel like I'm a little bit over my head on this, and if we're the ones monitoring it.
On their application, box off room, no one under 21 allowed.
That's for the gaming. You have to be.
Okay,
21.
so the machines
Yes.
are kind of in their own corner, but here's the thing is that the whole clubhouse area is part of the gaming area because you redeem your tickets at the bar, right? And so that's the entire clubhouse area.
But that would only come into play if you are having a raffle on site that was merging
Right.
with the space.
If the raffle was in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then I think
that's
the
like-
answer's pretty simple. You
they
can't
can't
do
have-
raffles
they
in the
can't do
building at the
raffles.
same time that the
Right.
gaming goes on.
Right.
I mean-
Yeah, right.
Okay, so as long as the commission's okay with that, I am having to tell all these people that are applying for raffle permits out at the golf course that
They're
they
not gonna
can't,
have a problem.
unless it's on the
Unless
course.
it's raining, they're not gonna have a problem with it.
Unless
Say
it's
no.
on the course.
I mean, that same thing at my place. If we have a raffle or something else going on, gaming's got to shut down, or else we just take them in the back room and.
Yeah.
But we have
Which
that
is more
option. We
separated,
have that
yes.
option because it's separated like that. But that's just the.
Yeah. Okay.
So if the commission's okay with that, then I'm fine with it. I just wanted you to be aware that this has been going on.
Okay. So can we get a motion to approve the American Legion gaming site authorization?
So moved.
By Commissioner Claris, by Commissioner White. Any other comments? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Pose same sign, motion carries. Next. Leffler KC.
Yep, so this is just, they get their liquor permit from us, liquor and beer license from us, and somebody's having a wedding, and they would like to sell the alcohol. I don't see any issues with it, for the wedding, and it's outside their Leffler Casey Club.
Okay.
Within the tent, right? Within the tent.
I see they have a tent drawn, yeah, so. Motion by Commissioner White to approve,
I'll second.
by Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Eagles.
Okay. These are actually two for the Eagles. They are looking to do 2 events at I think both of them are at the fairgrounds when I looked. Yes, both are at the fairgrounds. They used an old form. That's why you don't see the approval part for the commission. One is for the Rough Rider Days Demolition Derby. And the other one is for the Rough Rider Days Rodeo. And they're just looking for permission to sell alcohol at these events at the fairgrounds.
I'll make that motion.
By Commissioner Claris.
Second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Any other discussion? It's both events, correct?
Yep.
Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign, motion carries. Okay,
And I am done.
okay,
Was
so
that, what was that list of dollars there and that was in the middle of
that's
that
what
packet?
Legion gives, I think, their contribution.
The American Legion was giving the commission a list of things that they contribute dollars to, so you could kind
Okay,
of see.
thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move into the Armory and LEC land purchase agreement discussion. Okay, at our last meeting, we directed Commissioner White and I to sit down and just throw out some options so that the discussion wouldn't be prolonged. And it was sent out yesterday, I believe, or Friday maybe, a couple of the 3 options that we've proposed. There could be more, but if you've had a chance to review, unless you have any questions or anything, I would look for some discussion and direction on this.
My opinion is I'm looking at option 2, I guess is my,
Okay,
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'll make the motion to go with option 2.
okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner White to proceed with option 2. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
By Commissioner Franchuk. Okay, discussion.
Do you probably want to read it so the people that are watching
Okay.
TV or
Okay.
listening to us can know what it is?
So I'll do a quick sum. Option 1 was to leave the current agreement in place and come back and, as long as all inspections came back satisfactorily, proceed to close as agreed. Option 2 was to, which was the directive of last meeting, was to separate the 2 parcels so we could better allocate cost and value on each parcel, since there's would be different ownership. The value in the proposal or recommendation for option or parcel number 1, which would be the Armory building, was $670,000. We suggest or recommend to accept that. The value for recommendation for parcel 2, which is the LEC land, we have a recommended value of $1 million. And
And the original was how much?
it would have been 2.5 million minus 670,000, so 1,830,000 if my math is correct. And part of the logic there is the complications that come with that piece, since there is a long-term lease or egress and egress issues associated with that. And I'll read, then I'll explain. This parcel does not have full resale value, meaning that these issues result in diminished value of the land. In the discussions with commercial appraisers, a 25 to 35% reduction in value would be in line to deal with these challenges. Thus, it probably could be successfully argued that a $9 per square foot value established by the appraiser is not reflect market value. And if you applied a 33% discount, would take the value at $6 times 171,000 square feet, which is basically right at $1 million. Option number 3 is to attempt to only purchase the Armory building as a part of this deal. So we have a motion and a second to pursue with option number 2. I'd open it up for further discussion or questions. So I'll just, one little thing, it's in the appraisal, in that land where you had a 40-year lease in place, you had the option of another 40-year lease in place, subject to each party giving a 90-day notice to cancel or change the lease. Okay, in the state of North Dakota, all leases not in writing are considered month to month. So because technically we're either in a 40-year extension, which was not executed, or we're month to month with them. Either way, we have an issue that if you bought that land, you couldn't go out and, and erect a fast food restaurant on that particular piece of property. So the appraisal term is called fractured interest or diminished value interest when you don't have the ability or the property doesn't have full resale or full use value. So anyway, that's my comments. If we're done with discussion and questions, I would. Okay, so I believe Commissioner White made the motion. So Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Franchuk?
Aye.
Commissioner Claris?
Aye.
Commissioner Marsh?
Aye.
Chair will vote aye. Motion carries.
So what's the mechanics of that? We just need to.
We need to
draft a-
document and go back to the city with our proposal.
Okay.
I can give you an update on the Armory. I do have bids to go in and do electrical, mechanical inspections at 2,500 a venue there, so we'd have 5,000 in that one. The environmental The environmental one, I have it somewhere, but we're gonna be well below the 30,000 that we talked about and approved at the last meeting, so I think it will go.
Go wrong with
So, we'll proceed forward and continue due diligence on that in that regard, so, okay? Any other public comments? We've reached the stage. I didn't think anybody signed in or did that. If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner White, second by Commissioner Franchuk. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.